Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. In this video tutorial I'd like to introduce you the Metanode Fast Canyon Creator that can create very nice canyon and mesa formation in just a few minutes. Let's start creating a procedural terrain. Click here on the procedural terrain button and View will generate the default terrain. Now edit this object. We are inside the terrain editor. Disable these edges and you can see the terrain generated by this fractal, this simple function. If you make a right click on the function and click on the edit function, you will be inside the function editor. And you can see the simple fractal. We don't need it, so click here on New, and we have a completely empty function. Now, clicking anywhere, you can click on the Load Metanode button and select Fast Canyon Creator Metanode. Now you select the altitude and connect the altitude at the metanode and the metanode with the position. Okay. Now you will see the terrain generated by the default settings of the metanode. Let's increase a little bit the resolution. Okay. Now you can see better the details of the terrain. The shape of the canyon, the main shape of the canyon, are generated by this section of the metanode, the main terrain section. The additional detail generates this kind of distortion or irregularity that add realism. Geological cracks control these cracks. This is I think the most beautiful function of this metanode. You can see how the cracks add realism to the terrain and simulate a kind of erosion directly inside view. And if you export this terrain and work with Word Machine, for example, you can add additional erosion. Now let's play a little bit with the settings to see what can be done with this metanode. Let's try, for example, to change the size of the canyon, the size of the main terrain, and you can see that now is very big canyon in the center of the terrain and valley around. But I'd like that this point is in the center of the terrain. Now I must work on the origin of the fractal, move fractal origin, using the axis. For example, let's change the x value, the other direction. Again a little bit. Okay, and now the y-axis. Okay, again a little bit. Okay, so this point now is in the center. It's very easy to move the terrain using the settings of the Move Fractal Origin control. Now, I'd like, for example, to have here canyon and here valley. So basically invert this terrain. It's very easy using invert altitude. Now we have got exactly the opposite terrain. And I think it's very interesting. Or, for example, I'd like to change the profile of the terrain, change the filter. I can take one of view, for example, this one, why not, and see what's happened. This result is very interesting, I think. And you can edit this filter, of course, and add points or modify anyway. Okay, for example, let's play with the additional detail. Increase the size, decreasing the distortion, a little bit sharper, and more presence. Okay, and you see the shape is changed, modified by this fractal. Or, for example, decrease the size of the crack and increase the presence. When the size of cracks decrease, usually it's necessary to increase the crack's presence. Okay, and you can see here the crack's presence. I'd like to show you more detailed terrain because the cracks are very, very beautiful to see. I'm sorry, view is elaborating the terrain. Okay, watch the beauty of the cracks. A great function. Now the strata filter is activated. Later we will play with the strata too, but now I'd like to show you something about geological cracks. You can stretch, you can move. For example, the stretch is the same basically of the settings of the main terrain. But, for example, let's set the y-axis at 0.5 and see what's happened on the terrain. Of course, you can play completely random like I'm doing now, or you can use some photo reference. Okay, you can see now that on the y-axis the crack are the density of the crack is increased. You can see here and here the density of the cracks on the y-axis, and it's very interesting. Now the crack rotation, I decrease the detail because it's faster. Okay, if I disable the crack rotation, the cracks will be more geometrical. You can see the difference here, for example. And if I activate the crack rotation, the crack will be more natural. But according to what you are going to do. Now, the strata filter. This is basically a strata filter inside the Metanode, directly inside the Metanode. I think it can be very useful. Playing just with 5 settings for the strata. For example, increase the tilt angle, maybe just a little bit more. Okay, and let's play with the layer spacing and plateau filling. Okay, I think now we have got very interesting terrain. Yes, maybe let's try to decrease, okay, copy this value to reuse after, reduce the size. Reduce the size again a little bit. More presence of the cracks. Okay, just click OK and see the result in view. Select the camera. Let's choose a better atmosphere. Okay, and render a preview on the screen, for example 1400, to see how the render works. This is just a preview, but you can see that the terrain is very nice, and if you imagine a good texture on it and a better atmosphere, the render could be really nice render. But I'd like to show you something created with Vue and Fast Canyon Creator. For example, you can see this kind of big canyon. The cracks, the geological cracks, works very well in this case, here and here. And the additional details create this variation of altitudes. For example, the same terrain from another point of view, the crack here, the strata. Let's see something different. The science fiction style. Very beautiful canyon. And imagine, of course, if you can add water, for example. Another one. I'd like to show you this one. Sorry, there is one a little bit better. Okay, this is more visible. This time the fractal was stretched, and we have got a very high tilt angle of the strata filter and a very good texture that add details on the image. And we have this very nice rock formation. Or this one is a terrain exported and reworked with World Machine that created this additional erosion. Very nice. World Machine is a great program to do erosion on terrain, but you can see that the cracks are made with the Fast Canyon Creator and improved with World Machine in this case. And you can see other terrain. Look here, very nice cracks. Or another terrain worked with World Machine, this one. So you can see that this method is very powerful and it's very easy to use. In just a few minutes you can create a very nice canyon. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. I hope you enjoy my Metanode, and please, if you want, share with me your results.